Welcome to Mic Check Waifu Waifu.
Mic check, waifu. Ma, tell him, is that you?
Telling on who? What's up?
This is episode 233 of Mic Check Waifu. As always, is brought to you by Patreon. Patreon.com/Mic Check Waifu. It's where you can get early access to the video version of this podcast. You can get access to our Patreon exclusive podcast, The After Story. Get access to Mic Check mangas, take talks, a plethora of video content over on patreon.com/Mic Check Waifu. Shout out to our Patreon producers: Christian, the Archivist, Dre, the Goat G, Rob from Dad Needs to Talk podcast, Johnny from Shogo High, Ked the Pro from Chaotic Culture and Shogo High, Explicitly, Monique Williams, Nachi, Simi Sensei, Frozen, Saphir, and T Money Fingers. Thank y'all so much for producing this and many other episodes of the podcast. We couldn't do it without y'all. It means the world to us. Welcome to Mic Check Waifu. The anime podcast is brought to you every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. CT. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube, youtube.com/@Mic Check Waifu as well, because every end of the month, once a month, we do a live episode recording of this podcast. If you're watching the video version of this podcast, I know you notice that there's a new theme around us. Between me and Tel, there's the winter theme. And the winter theme means one thing, that it's the winter season. Winter season anime starts in a couple of weeks. So as we always do per season, this episode is where we're going to do a preview of that winter season. Find anime for you guys to add to your watch lists. Find sleepers, most anticipated, and other shows that look interesting to us, and talk about it here on the show. But before we get into that, Tel, how you feeling?
Bruh. Anime podcast. It's been a crazy week. We just said it was a heat week, but outside of anime, I'm good, bro. I'm happy. I got to talk to my mom, and I don't talk to my mom every day, but I try and make sure I at least talk to her, once a week or something like that. And we doing good. I'm excited for this getting closer to going back to school, because then we'll be dropping off the part-time gig, most likely, unless they let me do like one day a month or something like that to keep that discount. But yeah, bro, I'm good. I'm happy. It's been a great week for me. How about you, Polo?
So far, so good, man. I'm enjoying this week a lot because today, actually, a few hours ago, is the day that I wrapped up Yakuza 6. So my completion of 7 games is done. I spent about, 300 hours with Kazuma Kiryu, the protagonist of Yakuza, and it's been a journey. It's been a wild ride. There was a thug tear that was shed while playing this game series. Absolute tearjerker in a lot of these games. Very fantastic series, but now I'm about to start Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, before Yakuza Infinite Dragon comes out next month. I'm so fucking excited for it. I am going to pick up my streaming. Because for those of you that don't know, I had a power surge issue where my computer was drawing too much power from the section it's located in my house. So it was flicking it was hitting my breaker. So I was way too nervous to stream because, like, if you're streaming and a breaker switch, that just kills all your momentum. It fucking sucks. So I fixed that issue. So now I can, I'm going back to streaming soon. I'm going to pick back up on my MMO, BDO, start there, and then work my way through other games and like incorporating other games within the stream as well. Because for those of you that don't know, I'm a Twitch streamer, twitch.tv/PoloBornFly. That's kind of my only job. And yeah, so follow me over there if you haven't already. But I'm picking it back up. I appreciate everybody. Yeah, I appreciate everybody that still subbed, because I just got the check from Twitch, and I'm like, dude, this is off. I feel terrible because I have subs and I haven't been streaming, and I feel terrible. So it's coming back. I fixed the issue. We're good to go. I'm excited. But yeah. All right. Let's talk about anime. Episode of the week this week. Tail said it's a tough one, but not for me. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna go first if you don't mind. I'm gonna let you go second for the first time in a while. My episode of the week this week is my sleeper, our dating story. Now, the reason why it's my sleeper, and I talked to Crystal on AniList. Our AniList is in the show notes, by the way, so make sure you follow us over there on AniList. But as soon as I saw that she watched it, I commented on her AniList. I'm like, actually, let me tell you exactly what I said, because I was in it. Where is it? I can check my notification. See how even I still don't know how to work this. There it is. I said, man, I can't wait to record this week's episode, because this episode here, I swear. And the reason I said that is because this episode sent me through a vast range of emotions.
Right.
And this is the reason why I love Slice of Life. And it's all, again, I go back to I always reference Clannad when it comes to this, but it internally changed the way I view this shit, because this is what made me fall in love with anime. Shit like this. And let me go a little bit deeper into this. This episode had me physically sick in a lot of the instances. Like, sick to my stomach sick. I'm like, why do I have this pit in my stomach watching a fucking animated show? A Japanese anime. Like, I was suffering. I was like, damn, this shit hurt, man. This shit is killing me. And as I'm watching it, I'm reflecting to myself. I'm like, damn, I can't wait to talk about this, for the simple fact that, like, this is why I love this anime shit, because there's certain shows that if it executes it right, like if it does it right, where you fall in love with a cast of characters, and then it sends you on this journey that literally makes you feel anything, but in this case, everything from sadness to happiness to disgust to distress. Like, like I said, I was physically ill. Like, I was feeling sick to my stomach, and I'm like, I'm feeling this pit that I used to get, like when I used to get in trouble in school back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was that awful gut sinking feeling, and I'm like, this show is fantastic because it can make me feel these things. Right. Not a lot of shows can do that, and that's, again, probably why I'm such a stickler with shows, because a lot of times I'm watching stuff, example, Shangri-La, I'm bored as fuck watching it. And my mind flipped back to what I felt watching our dating story. It's like, it's because of this dichotomy of shit that I'm watching that makes me, I'm feeling something with one thing and I'm feeling absolutely nothing but boredom on the other thing, is why I'm like thoroughly invested in anime. And not just because it's again a part of another job I have, obviously, but because it's deep, man. I'm deep in it, man. I'm deep in it. That's why our dating story is my episode of the week this week. I felt a lot. Again, I haven't felt sick watching an anime since Clannad, but I actually felt ill. And it wasn't even that bad, but it's just the thing that happened. It's like, you can't be mad at the character for what happened when it was happening. You understand what's going on, but you don't want it to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it was hard. It was hard. It was tough. Sorry to go on that rant.
To go piggyback on what Polo said, I know what my episode of the week is, and I chose my episode of the week because I knew Polo was gonna choose this one, right? And I'm not gonna say I know. I'm not gonna say I know. I hoped Polo was gonna choose this one, because this episode of our dating story was really good. And it wasn't necessarily because I felt those range of emotions and I had like that kind of like investment or connection to it. It just felt real. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If that makes sense, because I didn't necessarily feel those things, and I don't think I've necessarily specifically been in that situation, but it's like that shit felt real. Mm-hmm. So I was like, yo, this is a good episode. And I even watched it, turned around to my wife and was like, this is just what just happened. I explained it to her. She said, that sounded like it was really good. And I was like, it was crazy. So our dating story, very deserving. My episode of the week, though, is Frieren. And I'm choosing Frieren because we got, I'm not going to say the same range of emotions, but we got that continuation of kind of like Stark's story without going too much in the spoiler. And some further overall just progression. This week, though, just was crazy in terms of like some of this stuff and how it was portrayed. It was a great week for anime.
I'm shocked. Frieren was good. It was a beautifully animated episode, like as always, though. And I was talking to Dad Needs to Talk because he sent me a tweet about somebody talking about the animation and how that dance scene was kind of like referencing mocap. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful episode animation wise and story wise. It was again very great story. But you know what? I'm shocked and slightly disappointed in you.
Why?
Slightly. Because you know how you thought you was hoping I picked this. I was hoping you picked Apothecary Diaries because that episode was fucking brilliant, man. So brilliant. Yeah. And I cannot skip past episode of the week talk without mentioning Apothecary Diaries this week because it was magnificent.
Yes, I'm not going to take nothing away from Apothecary Diaries. Everything they did, how they even explained the scenario. And as a dad, what they explained is something I literally learned, 5 months into my wife being pregnant. I was like, oh, I can't do that. I didn't know that was a thing. But it is. And it's like, it's such a...
just the implications.
Implications, yeah. And how things get carried out in that show. Yeah, I'm not even saying like it was a bad thing. It was a beautiful episode as well. Like I said, just through the roof. So yeah, you're 100% right in bringing up Apothecary Diaries because it was a great episode there too. And
I don't want to be misinterpreted as to say like Frieren wasn't deserving of it. Wow, it was a brilliant episode, great as always though. But something about Apothecary Diaries took, as I didn't think it was possible, another step up. You know what I'm saying? Like it just went further up because again, the implications that went on within the pavilion of a mother-son thing and just different shit.
I don't know why the rear of the
yeah, we ain't got to go into it. We'll go into it later, but it's so fucking deep, man. It goes so deep and it's wonderful. It was and again, beautifully animated as well because it was some scenes in there when it would pan to a character's face and and then what happened to that character. It's sad yet understanding yet. It was great. It was great.
Yeah.
It was great. I can gush about Apothecary Diaries, especially this week, all week. A couple of shows ended before we get into, the winter season. A couple of shows ended. To talk about that really quick. MF Ghost did what Initial D used to do, or did what Initial D did, but because Initial D was already fully out, I was able to binge through it, unfortunately. The MF Ghost was like the low point, very disappointed where it stopped. And then Overtake was a nice cap off to a great show. Mm-hmm. So I just want to make sure we mention that because it's very worthy of such.
Yeah. Overtake, I thought it was a very nice finish. The only issue I have with Overtake is that I kind of feel like, I don't know, maybe it should have been a few more steps to that finale, but either way, I love that it finished this way and how they portrayed it. You know what I mean?
You know what's funny about that is I knew you were going to say that. And while I was watching, I was like, Tell's going to probably say there should have been more. There could have been more. But for me, I think it was just right. And
it was just right.
I think it was just right because of the fact that like we've been through so much. We knew the couple of episodes ago, we knew the issue as to why he didn't necessarily, in the last one he had. So like it was, he earned it with the help of the city. And it's just, it was steps to get there. It did feel like, I knew you were going to say that because I could see where you were saying
a little fast paced.
It kind of zoomed through, but I kind of like that. And then again, I always put this in quotation marks because I, as a non-animator person, don't know really shit about animation. So this is the term I use for something that I would consider to be quote unquote camera work. But the camera work within the race was fucking just phenomenal. So beautiful. Yeah. It was beautiful.
Yeah, and when I say, like I said, I think Overtake had a phenomenal episode as well. Like Overtake was another one that I was like, I'm just so surprised that it ended this cleanly, like
nice and clean. Yeah.
Especially with like, I knew from the beginning I liked it, but the way it kind of took to that ending, I was like, it took that turn to where it didn't feel so much like a car anime, but more about like the actual development of those characters.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning it was like, this is very car oriented, but it gave us the characters. And the only reason, like I said, I wish it had more was because I felt like that little mini training session was not enough for our character to actually be, I guess, to the point he got it in. But regardless of it, I'm very happy with the ending. The conclusion, it hit exactly what it needed to hit, bro.
Yeah. And with something like this, I don't even need anymore.
Like exactly that.
That's a show you could just say 12 episodes, go through it, fill it all, binge it, nice, and it's done, and you're good. You don't need more. Maybe they'll make more, but they don't need to.
I don't want a season 2. That's not what I'm saying. I definitely don't.
I know. I figured you wouldn't, but I'm good. I feel good with where it dropped. Let me make sure I got what else wrapped. I think that was it, really.
Yeah, Berserk of Gluttony.
Berserk of Gluttony. Okay, yeah. It's not a good show, but this is something I wanted to talk about. I'm glad you brought up Berserk of Gluttony. While it's not a good show, and I can't recommend it, I enjoy it because it's like that trash show, and I mentioned this on Twitter. It's like that trash show you could just watch and enjoy. You know how you put Chivalry of a Failed Knight, even though I feel like it's good, but it's obviously we can objectively see why people wouldn't like certain shows, and Berserk of Gluttony will be one that a lot of people wouldn't like, but I like, you know what I'm saying? And I gladly admit I like trash stuff too,
Berserk of Gluttony definitely, I don't know if I want to say it filled a void that was like kind of like missing. Like it had a spot this season that was like almost unique to it. Yeah. Because our main character was definitely overpowered, but it was that interest in him fighting himself the entire show.
Oh God, yes.
That made it good. And then like the reveal at the end that what we get with him and the female counterpart was like, oh, this is what I needed. This is what I needed. And I don't care if people said the show is trash. It was good enough for me.
But the thing is we know it's bad. Like we're not saying that it's good to go watch it. But if you can enjoy something like this, and another one that's ending tomorrow is a playthrough life of a certain dude's VR MMO life. Like that's another one that's like it's bad. It's a bad show. Like we understand that, but we enjoy it because it's just I don't know. It feels comfortable for some reason. It's just something to watch. Where it's like. Okay, it's pretty good. So before we dive even deeper, I want to just let everybody know that next week we'll be talking about the live action Yu Yu Hakusho on Netflix. So if you're coming for that, we obviously got a lot more to talk about since it's the winter preview episode, and this episode was already predetermined. So, but next week we're going to be talking about the Yu Yu Hakusho live action. But before we do that, I also want to go into the final. Let's call it the final listing of the fall anime. So let's take a look at our list, see what dropped off, see what kind of like put on a back burner to finish the binge later. Shows like that. Like where did the season cap off as far as like the shows we kept continuing to watch week to week, shows that we set to the side to binge later, or shows we completely dropped. And I would like to say that Kingdoms of Ruin, I stopped 3 episodes ago. It's just garbage. And it's not garbage in the VR MMO life way or garbage in like the fucking Berserker Gluttony way. It's just bad. So that's gone. That was a terrible turning point because we definitely hyped that one up because it has so much potential. The first 6 episodes? And then even less than 4, first 4, 5. Yeah, first 5 episodes was pretty good. And it turned into shit quickly, relatively.
So yeah, I agree. Kingdom of Ruins. I'm gonna finish it, but I'm just gonna.
It's still on my list.
I'm too far in it to not just go ahead and finish it. You know what I mean? Like it's already is at this point.
and that's what I mean. I'm gonna finish it later at some point, but it's gonna be in my anime in progress list for as long as I can. Yeah, for as long as I can until I'm like, okay, let me just fucking finish this bullshit and get it over with.
Platinum in season 2, aka Kami.Erabi God app.
I really hate when you bring the show up. I really do.
I'm gonna finish it. I'm 3 episodes behind though. I'm gonna finish it. But yeah, it was not good from episode 2. I thought episode 1 was interesting enough. Episode 2 was definitely like, yeah, this is not good. But it's gonna get finished.
You're weird. Yeah, I mean, and again, I'm keeping up with 100 Girlfriends. Another brilliant episode this week. I fucking loved it. I loved everything about how fucking silly it was. They broke the fourth wall a few times, which makes it even more entertaining and fun. Love that show. I think the only other one I still haven't touched Tokyo Revengers because whatever.
Goblin Slayer. I'm gonna have to catch up on Goblin Slayer, but I will finish that one as well.
I'm waiting for that to be dubbed and done to finish that one because I loved Goblin Slayer's dub, so I'm waiting for that to get done.
And this season in general, because where I stop at episode 7, it's been pretty solid this season. You know what I mean? Yeah. So 100%, it's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be worth the watch.
I kind of fell behind on Forbidden Deductions, which is not intentional, but I haven't been driven to continue it. I think this is another one that I think is better to be binged later because I'm 9 episodes deep right now. I'm 2 episodes behind, but I can finish that later, and that's something I will sit down and finish all of it all the way through in like one sitting. So I'm gonna wait till that's finished too, as well as Deadmount Deathplay Part 2. That's still in my list to be completed. I'm waiting for that to be done as well.
I completely forgot about that.
And same with St. Magic Powers Omnipotent too.
Oh yeah, that's going to be completed as well.
That's getting binged when it's dubbed and done. Everything else, man, I'm everything else is still the same from the start. Like Returners Magic, Protocol Rain, we have to. It's a sleeper. My daughter's left the nest and returned as an S-Work Adventure. I'm still watching that because it's easy to watch. Ragnar Crimson, I'm actually enjoying a lot.
Yeah, that actually is pretty good as well.
Funny enough, and funny enough, we're not really doing a good job of selling that one, but I think it's totally worth a watch, man. It's 24 episodes, but so far it hasn't felt like 24 episodes. It feels like something goes on every episode that still push the story forward. It doesn't feel like it's cuckold you. Yeah. It's continuing, and I'm liking it.
And to be completely fair, these last, like, let's say 2 or 3 episodes have been the slowest, but there's still been a lot of like world and story development. You know what I mean? Yes. So it's kind of crazy because it's like I almost feel like we were putting Kingdoms of Ruin over this in the beginning, right? And then it's kind of like, no, I'm shining, bro. I'm shining.
Way brighter, way brighter, and we're not talking about it at all, which is shame on us. We're not doing a good job. I see that people still loving Shangri-La. I can't. I'm not enjoying it.
It's cool. I'm not hating it, but it's not like.
Yeah, I'm not hating it either, but it's not spectacular either. It's what it is what still pisses me off is every time I watch it and I go back to my Crunchyroll, I still got 5 minutes left because I got that stupid Shangri-La theater shit where it's just nothing but bullshit at the end for 5 minutes.
Yo, hear me out though. For an episode that's 23 minutes and 50 seconds, yeah, stop doing that. Not to mention you gave us an intro, outro, and a little bit of a recap. And can we not do that?
and this is why they dragging it out to 25 episodes. And that's disgusting. That's a disgusting tactic, if you ask me. I honestly, truly believe it's nasty. It's gross. But
Polo is sharing his contempt for the show.
100%. I'm keeping it real. I wouldn't say it's a bad show. It's not nothing is bad about it, right? Like, but for me, it's so fucking boring. Like, I was falling asleep watching it today, and it was stuff going on. I'm like, fuck, I gotta wake up.
Yeah, actual story plots happened this week, and it was like still okay.
But was it actual story plots? No, because they were grinding. You know what's cute though? You know what I find cute, and this is not a derogatory cute. Tell knows when I call something cute, it's normally derogatory, but this time, it was actually cute. The fact that they put the MMO terms on the screen for people that don't quite understand what they're saying, which is dope. Yeah. I like when they explain grinding or they explain, certain shit that happens in MMOs or RPGs in general. I thought that was adorable. I'm like, that's nice. That's nice of y'all.
For non MMOers or RPGers.
Or even, yeah, exactly. I think that's dope. All right. So again, overall thoughts of this fall, really good fall. A lot of surprises that I didn't think I was going to like, but I enjoyed this fall a lot. It's not one of the, you know what? It might be one of the best falls because I almost said it might not be the best fall, but then we got Frieren and Apothecary Diaries, and that alone fucking sends this fall through the roof. But Dr. Stone season 3 was fire.
JJK had a really good episode this week. If you talk about
that's a continuation from last season, so I can't really throw that into this conversation. You're right. But like Dr. Stone Part 2 is fantastic.
True.
100 Girlfriends is fantastic. Even Girlfriend season 2, while it hasn't been my favorite, I'm still liking that. I think this is a very solid fall.
Yeah, and the thing that makes it stand out is it was just things in this season that I wasn't expecting to that came through. Like Frieren, after seeing the first 3 episodes, I was like, I'm gonna like this. Apothecary Diaries, after seeing the first episode, I was like, I'm gonna like this. But Dr. Stone really pulled his weight this season. 100%. But then it's like we said before, we had Overtake, which was a surprise in terms of like, I can't believe I actually ended up liking that. For me, it was also like Shy, which not everybody is watching, but for those of you who are watching, I'm very surprised with a show that I wasn't sure if I'm gonna ended up liking. So yeah, bro, it was just some stuff in here. Like we said again, what is it? The not Forbidden Deductions, the Ragnar Crimson. Yeah, 100%. Just a show that came through that we weren't expecting to like, that put a little extra emphasis on this season in comparison to others, especially with it being so close to the end of the year. Yeah, some of these are going to be remembered because of that. That's how we ended the year, with some stuff that wasn't expected to be good, but it came through.
Very solid point, man. And I want to give a tick to Spy Family. While Spy Family, most of the episodes were still the same. Aya disasters. They had an arc here that was Your Paradise, and I just love Your. I think she might be my favorite woman in anime. Until Fire Force come back and Habana is back in my life, but Your is it for me. Like, I love her so much. Oh, and fucking how dare we not mention Eminence and Shadow?
Of course. What
a great episode is a great episode this week. And what it is like, okay, the problem with Eminence and Shadow is there's so much content within the show that limiting themselves to 12 might be its detriment, because they have so many, like the way they transition between arcs and stuff, there's always something going on in the background of this world that's very essential to it going to that place where it's the misunderstanding, the miscommunication, and then the overpowered instant clean of whoever he fights or whatever the situation, he just ends it. Like it has to take that time to build up and ramp up. But the problem is when you're only 12, you kind of feel let down, because you're like, you want more of that him atomic, snapping his fucking finger and killing everything. But they got to build it up, which I appreciate.
Not, and I'm gonna say this, not at the detriment of this show. The fact that this season started off at a high point, but then after that was just kind of chill. Yes. But still like giving you like what we're like kind of building into. That was nice. Had it been 24 episodes and we got to see like the full development of that, would have been like, yo, this season was amazing. Right. But it doesn't mean that this season wasn't good. It just means that the next season they built up for it. Yep. And that's what this anime specifically is really good at. They were good at it in the first season, building up to that climax that we kind of got before into this, because we've had some climactic moments. Yeah. But now it's building up for that climax in the next season, because at this point I feel like Eminence in Shadow is going to be some people's like anime staples, because it has cemented a place for itself at this point.
You are fucking spitting right now. All right. And then it's one more thing. I know it's a lot. Oh, fuck. I had it and it's gone. God damn it. I hate when I do that. When I have a very important thing I wanted to bring and then I lose it and it's just gone.
It'll pop up again. This season requires that it pops up again.
Yeah. Fuck.
We'll Future Polo. Come back and edit that part in.
I probably won't, because it will require your reaction, but it's fine. Moving on. Let's get into this winter preview. Now, the reason why I kind of like drag that on is because there's not a lot this winter. I'm gonna be real with you. There's not a lot. There's not a lot going on, but there are some stuff we're excited for. We're obviously going to talk about it all. How do you want to do this, Taylor? Do we want to do it like we normally do, or we want to bring in the people first?
Let's see what, because I feel like it's going to be obvious, right? There's some things that are guaranteed watches. Let's hit the list first and then bring in the people. Let's hit the list.
All right. Most anticipated. You want to say that at the same time?
3, 2, 1.
Solo leveling. It's obvious. We've read it. We had multiple discussions on past episodes. Listen, Christian, I love you, brother, and I'm sorry to put you to work, but I'm going to put you to work. If you could do me a favor, if you can write the amount of like the episode numbers in which we talked about solo leveling, so I can share that on Twitter with the people, so they can go back and listen to us talk about it, because we read it all. We read it all and we talked about it all on the podcast. Couldn't tell you what numbers we did that on, but I would appreciate that, because this series for us is huge. So was it somebody in the community that recommended we read it?
What was it? Maybe it was like Blaname. Somebody told us. I'm not sure who did.
Somebody told us to read it. If you're still in the community and you're listening to us, let us know so I can give you proper credit, because thank you. It became one of my favorite series when I read it, and I couldn't put it down. I think I finished it in like 2 days or something like that. Or I got up to the point where I caught up, and then, in like 2 days. But fantastic series. So Solo Leveling is about to bring the fucking heat this anime season. It's animated by one of our favorite studios, A1 Pictures. We talk about this all the time. If you don't know who A1 Pictures is, there's a studio that brought Alicization Sword Art. I know not a lot of Sword Art fans is here, but stick with me. Alicization animation was the most beautiful thing I think I've seen in forever. And they did Nier Automata animation, which is effortless. They did Engage Kiss, which also had great animations, and they also did Kaguya-sama Love is War. Fucking 86, which is one of our favorite anime of all time. A1 Pictures is a top tier studio, so they're bringing us. One of the top tier studios is bringing us one of the top tier shows, Solo Leveling, and I can't stress enough how much we're gonna gush about that when that happens.
December 9th, you said, who is joining us for the Solo Leveling Book Club? Read the first 15 chapters and share your thoughts with us. That was December 9th, 2020.
2020. Jeez. Okay, well, there's that.
But ever ago.
I know. From the time we're recording this, which is the Sunday before the Tuesday, Solo Leveling airs in 19 days. Excited. So excited.
Yeah, mass excitement. But hear me out. While I'm extremely ready for that, and I was just talking to our boy Christian. He has not read it, and I told him, don't read it, bro.
Don't read it. Please don't.
At this point, don't even read it.
Don't even touch it.
Because you are in for a treat. And when I say a treat, it's going to be crazy. But hear me out. I know Polo be tired of me sometimes. He put me on the Classroom of the Elite, but let me tell you something real quick.
I can't fucking wait.
It is one of my most anticipated for the winter season, bro.
Too. Yeah.
I know it's gonna go crazy.
After that ass kicking he gave, oh my gosh. I just love the psychological shit. What it is, and what's impressive and what sucks about Classroom, not sucks, but what gets on my nerves about Classroom Elite is I love the dub, man. I love the dub so much that I don't think I want. It starts in 16 days. I don't think I want to watch it subbed because I just love the dub so much. I love. They got Justin. I think his name Breyer. His name is His first name is Justin, but he's the voice of funny enough Deku in My Hero, but he's the voice of Ayano Koji, and his voice matches so perfectly for this nonchalant and devious fucking guy that plays the fool to all these people. So Classroom of the Elite, it's the third semester. I'm looking forward to the games that's about to be played, like mind games. It's not even like real games. It's actual mind games that's about to be in the school full of elite people. Season 1 did a brilliant job of building up the world. Season 2 did a brilliant job of building up, I guess you could say, the drama. And then season 3 is going to take that to a whole nother level, it feels like.
Yeah, and I would even add to season 2 that they did a good job of revealing the characters.
Yes.
Not just building them up, but revealing the characters.
Huge. And the way he moves is just fucking clean. It's just so clean.
Yeah,
he knows when he's manipulating, and he knows when somebody else is so fucking fire. Okay. Another one that I am super excited for. Y'all heard me talk about this when it came out originally, and that's obviously Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy. I think I gushed about that every episode that this was out this season. It's funny. It's edgy. It's a harem. It's everything I love. And it's back. This is one of the shows that genuinely made me laugh. And they had not only was it like a comedy, it's just a comedy, but it had action scenes in there that was intense. Like legitimately intense. There was a moment in season 1 where our main character was backed into a corner, and the way he handled being backed into that corner was fucking so dope, because there's this GIF, and I'm wondering if I'm gonna use it for this episode's announcement, but of him walking through the smoke. That's all I'm gonna say. He was walking through some smoke, and it was so fucking intense. And just, it was serious. It was a serious moment in this very heavy comedy-filled anime. This show is definitely another one I'm anticipating very highly of.
And my last one for my most anticipated for this season, I'm not sure how excited Polo is for this, but I don't care. This is just one I'm excited for. It might fit into that shonen category, but Blue Exorcist. I'm hyped for Blue Exorcist. Blue Exorcist is actually one of those anime that got me into some other anime just because of what it was about. Yeah. So yeah, hyped for it. Hyped to see the brothers come back and do their thing or fail. Whatever they do, I'm hyped for it.
I'm gonna be real with you. This is kind of my season. And and I'm gonna say this because, and Rob J touched on something, and we're gonna read it later, obviously, but this season has bottom tier character, second season, which is Love Don't Cost a Thing, season 2. Then you have The Danger Is in My Heart, season 2, another show I fucking love. Then you have Banished from a Hero Party, season 2, another show that I absolutely love. Even Tell liked it too. We loved it. It feels like it's my season, and with that alone, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shows already on the list, and then Blue Exorcist, if you're into that, insane. Oh yeah, and Mashal, if for the people who like Mashal, but that's not on my list. So
it was cool.
It was cool. Okay, now moving on to the unknown. Actually, let's bring in some of the people. Actually, this is a perfect time to interweave some of our friends over on Twitter. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Mike Check Waifu. Only one waifu because they won't let us do 2. I'm gonna go with Matt. All for One Matt. He says my most anticipated, and I'm going to go through their most anticipated first. Solo Leveling. Yeah, you're the GOAT. You're the GOAT. Solo Leveling is insane. Rob, a Patreon producer, make sure you guys are following him on YouTube as well. If you click down in the description of the YouTube video, if you're watching it, or if you're listening, his @ is youtube.com/@dadneedstotalk. He says my most anticipated is tied between two series, The Witch and the Beast and Delicious in Dungeon. Excited to finally get into them. I held off not reading when I heard the anime were coming. Delicious Dungeon, huh? Okay.
I mean, I feel like that's a good one for those who like to chill and eat.
True. TCB says my most anticipated, or his known, is "'Tis Time for Torture." Oh, "'Tis Time for Torture, Princess." I didn't even know that was a part of it, but holy shit. He said he caught up with the manga and loved the humor in it and the surprising wholesomeness that comes from it. Interesting.
What?
Yeah, it's called "'Tis Time for Torture, Princess."
Okay.
That sounds crazy. Moving on to Crystal, she says most anticipated season 3 of Blue Exorcist, mostly just because I read the manga this, or season 2 of Banished from a Hero's Party. You know, when I hit these tweets, what I do is I love them. I like them, and then I retweet them as fast as possible without kind of looking at them, just so I could be surprised for the show. And her mentioning Banished from a Hero's Party season 2 makes me happy. Hey, the homie Shonen Bump, he says Delicious in the Dungeon. I have yet to see a food anime steer me wrong. He mentioned that to us earlier in the week. I was gonna make sure I wasn't gonna forget it, but he made sure I didn't forget it by responding to the question tweet. But dog, food anime has been real good.
Oh yeah,
it hasn't missed. And then somebody that doesn't follow us, Huey, the homie Huey says Metallic Rogue is a that's a sleeper. Spoilers. Okay. That's a sleepers, but his most anticipated is Monsters 103, written by Oda. Monsters 103, written by Oda. And then he says, not much has caught my eye. Interesting.
Oh, he said Metallic Rouge is his sleeper?
Yes, that's a sleeper.
Gotcha.
His most anticipated is Monsters 103. I didn't mean to mention the sleeper because I'm coming back to the sleepers, but Miss Extreme Kita. Hey Kita, she says most anticipated. This is about to surprise you, Montel. High Card.
Oh my goodness.
Mashle and Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy and The Dangers in My Heart. Yes, Kita. Dangers in My Heart. I was like egging her on to watch it back when season 1 was on. She's like, I don't know, should I watch this? I'm like, please stick with it. Dangers in My Heart is fantastic.
I thought you were gonna choose that one though.
What you mean?
Dangers in My Heart as one of your most anticipated for the season?
It's there, but come on, it's real hard to, it's a lot.
I feel you.
Rob J from Shogo High says most anticipated Classroom of the Elite and Chain Shoulders with a side eye face. Because Chain Shoulders is our jam, man. You know, harem ecchi. It's our shit. It's our shit. Yeah, and I think that's it so far.
So, let me say something real quick. Our listeners, viewers, they got a nice little list here.
So far, so great, right?
It's pretty diverse, bro.
That's why I absolutely love our community. I wish a lot more of y'all were on Twitter. I know most of y'all aren't because, again, we started without Twitter for months before we got one. But I want to, like, these lists be so diverse, bro. I look forward to this time every time. I'm gonna just say it. But I want to throw in Rob J's random thought he incorporated, which I fucking love. I love this random thought. I feel like this winter season is just an appetizer for what we're going to get in the spring. To me, it ain't much that looks appealing for the winter. I'll just take the time to catch up on anime from the past seasons. You're going to have a tough time, and hear me out, Rob J. And this is where I wanted to go with this and where I wanted to transition this into the sleeper talk, because I get what you're saying, because when you initially look at the list, it is not as big, okay? and I'm gonna just say big as fall or even spring. But the shows that are here, and we're going to get into them, seem a lot more interesting than you might give them credit for, Rob. And hear us out. There's a lot that we can go through, right? You already know about Chain Soldiers. You already know about Mashle season 2. I saw you talking about that. You already know Solo Leveling. We sang Solo Leveling praises for months. But I mean, starting off, let's get into some shows that look interesting. I want to start with Chain Soldiers, if you don't mind.
Let's do it, bro.
Chain Soldiers, and I'm gonna read the synopsis here. Oh, why is this so fucking long? All right, but the demon-filled dimension known as Mato has opened to threaten humanity, and a type of peach, in quotes, they put peach in quotes, which is very interesting. Tree that grows there yields fruit that confers special power to those who eat it, giving humanity a fighting chance. But this only works for women. As such, as protectors of humanity, women rise in the social status while men are regulated to second-class citizens, scraping for basic occupation and acknowledgement. Kyuyuki, a domestically crafty and laborious high school senior whose older sister was taken during the not older sister, please don't tell me it's that kind of show. It was taken during the Mato event 5 years before. While lamenting the hardships of the life ahead of him, an event opens before him. And while being rescued from the demons by Captain Kyoka of the Anti-Demon Corps, she confers his powers as her slave. Okay, no, it's not going to be that kind of anime. And turns him into the mighty beast mount that mows down the demons. However, there is a surprise price to pay for being a slave. And it's not him who has to pay it.
Oh, yeah.
I can only imagine we're just going to tags. Y'all ready for the tags? Action, adventure, drama, ecchi, fantasy, romance. Mm-hmm. Just say Polo. Just say Polo. Come here.
Yep, they did, though. They put it in the title.
Hey, come here.
All right. So, while I understand that we'll both probably be watching that one.
Of course, yeah.
One of the ones that seemed interesting to me immediately was just based off the title. It gives me if Redo of Healer was not so bad. And I don't mean bad. I don't mean bad, but not so dark. The wrong way to use healing magic. An ordinary walk home from school turns into an epic journey from Usato. After suddenly being dropped into another world with two fellow students, Usato learns he was summoned there by accident. But things turn around when he discovers a unique aptitude for healing magic. Now he trains beyond human limitations, using his self-healing abilities to gain absurd strength and unrivaled stamina. I don't think he's going to be cast and healed to kill people. But I do think that this is going to be an interesting take on that same perspective. And that's what has me drawn in. Because I feel like Redo of Healer did such a good job of establishing that healing can be done in
different people. Ways. Yeah. Good job.
It did a good job at showing you that healing can be done to
true.
do all kind of things. But I want to see what this has to offer. At least the first 3 episodes. So I'm interested to see how it can deliver on that.
I'm 100% with you in trying that one. Let's see here. I don't mess with Mecha, so I'm gonna leave the Metallic Rouge to Huey TJ since that's a sleeper. I'm gonna let him give us update weekly. But something that seems interesting to me is another comedy romance. What seems to be interesting is The Foolish Angel Dances with the Devil. Masatori Akatsu, a demon on a recruitment mission in a human high school, is drafting allies for hell against the heavenly angels. But when seated beside the captivating Lily Anime, he's in for the devilishly hilarious celestial surprise. So it seems like it could be interesting. It's done by Children's Playground, studio I'd never heard of.
Yeah, I was just looking at that because I was trying to figure out what studio. I feel like they're doing something else this season, maybe.
Faraway. Well, they did Faraway Paladin season 1, and they did The Fruit of Evolution, which are both shows I watch. And I, pseudo enjoyed, but I don't know if they're gonna be great. But we're gonna give it a go.
So this next one I'm interested in. I put on the list because we was talking about the winner list before. Like, what was it, 2 weeks ago? We was talking about the winner list, and I saw this, and I feel like you said this is a polo ass anime, but I also feel like this might just be a tail ass anime. Tales of Wedding Rings. Now this is a adventure comedy ecchi joint. It says Satori and his best friend Hime have been together for as long as he can remember. So when she tells him she's going back to her homeworld to get married, his first thought is to follow her and crash her wedding. All goes according to plan, and with a kiss from Hime herself, Sato becomes the new groom. But unbeknownst to Sato, the man who marries Hime is destined to be a hero of immense power and save the world. Is Sato up for the... Is Sato up for the challenge, or is this just too much responsibility for one high schooler to handle?
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
So
it's a polo ass anime, but it might be a tail ass anime too. You right.
That's what I said though. It seemed like a tail ass anime. So action and some romance etchiness sounds great.
100%, and that's our wheelhouse. Okay, here's one for you. My instant death ability is so overpowered, no one in this other world stands a chance against me. Okay, so here we go. Awakening to absolute chaos and carnage while on a school trip, Yaguri Takuko discovers that everyone in his class has been transported to another world. He has somehow managed to sleep through the entire ordeal himself, missing out on the gift. Powers bestowed upon the others by a mysterious sage who appeared to transport them. Even worse, he and another classmate were ruthlessly abandoned by their friends, left as bait to distract a nearby dragon. Although not terribly bothered by the thought of dying, he reluctantly decides to protect his lone companion. After all, a lowly level 1,000 monster doesn't stand a chance against his secret power to invoke instant death with a single thought. If he can stay awake long enough to bother using it, that is. This seemed like it's gonna be something interesting.
And hell yeah, I already had it on the list. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Straight up.
Now, to keep going with something that sounds interesting, the Unwanted Undead Adventurer. Now, this one. It says Red Fana has hunted monsters for the last 10 years. Sadly, he's not great at his job. Stuck hunting slimes and goblins for a few coins each day, his luck turns when he finds an undiscovered path. At the path's end, he meets his demise in the maw of a legendary dragon, but he wakes up as an undead bag of bones. He sets out to achieve existential evolution and rejoin the land of the living. Now, this one... Yeah, bro. I'm here for this. I'm here for this.
Ain't it, bruh?
So, like, I know we're not done looking yet, but I'm just gonna say this: this season, arguably, we don't know yet. We gotta at least get past the first few episodes. But arguably, this season, Brolo, it's looking like it could be a bad season to try and catch up on some stuff if this is real good here.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, take a step into my office, Tel. Come on over here real quick. Let me talk to you about something. It's a show called Hokkaido Gals Are Super Adorable. Okay. Snowflakes aren't the only things dropping in Hokkaido. So are Jaws, thanks to the super adorable gals who are turning the icy north into a hotbed of fashion and fun. Brace yourself for a winter storm of laughs, love, and killer outfits as these girls proved that being cute is an all-season affair here. And Frostbite meets Fashionista. This is the genres: comedy, romance, slice of life, female harem, male protagonist, female protagonist. All I don't know, man. I don't know. It might be interesting. Might be very, very interesting.
Nah, bro. That's probably gonna be also in that bag.
Mm-hmm. In that my dress up darling bag.
Hey, hear me out though. Anything like that, 100%, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
If it can scratch that itch that my dress up darling did in that wholesome but still like very developmental way, bro.
Yes.
We haven't gotten. I mean, I'm not saying that the sites like haven't done it, but that just had a much more wholesome feel to it. That was like different.
Right.
Man. Let me look at this a little bit more here. Because I know all of those, I'm for sure. Everything we both said, I'm for sure I want to watch. At least to start off with.
Here's a tail ass anime. It's a shoujo.
What's that?
A Sign of Affection.
Oh yeah, I'm watching that one.
Yuki, a deaf college student, is struggling one day when an upperclassman from her school, Itosome, helps her out. Itosome isn't put off at all by her lack of hearing, and it interacts with her naturally. As he gradually opens up a new world to her, Yuki begins to develop feelings for Itosome. Thus begins the pure love story of Yuki, a deaf college girl, and Itosome, her upperclassman who travels the world with her.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll be watching that.
Shoujo just ain't my shit, but this one I might even have to pick up.
Hey, look, sometimes though, it's just the storyline. It just hits sometimes.
And let's do this. Let's start going through some of the our listeners' sleepers.
All right.
You ready?
Let's do it.
While I do that, obviously, go ahead and grab your sleepers as well. So I wanted to make it clear.
I'm holding y'all accountable for y'all sleepers.
Yeah, we all. I was just about to say that. We like to hold y'all accountable for y'all sleepers. So if you pick something and it's not good, throughout the season, we're going to talk about it and we're going to bring your name up when we do. You
can see the notes. I'm gonna start putting y'all names right here in the notes for the sleepers that y'all chose.
What a real one. For real. Shonen Bump. I want to make it clear that Delicious Dungeon is his sleeper for Shonen Bump. So just let me clarify that. So it's my fault.
Delicious Dungeon
is Shonen Bump's sleeper. Matt, his sleeper is also Delicious Dungeon.
Shonen Bump and Matt.
Yep. Huey TJ, sleeper. We already got him as Metallic Rogue. TCBNYC. His sleeper is Hokkaido girls are super adorable. Dress up darling comparisons are strong, but I think they will stand on its own.
That's TCB?
Yep, TCBNYC. All right, Kita got a few sleepers.
Here we go.
So she missed the thing where it says sleeper. But she says The Witch and the Beast, Metallic Rogue, Seventh Time Loop. The villainess enjoys a carefree life married to her worst enemy. I'm gonna say
Seventh Time Loop.
Yeah, Seventh Time Loop. I'm gonna pick one for her, and the one I'm gonna pick for her is going to be The Witch and the Beast. So that's the one we're gonna rock with.
Okay.
At Dad Needs to Talk podcast, his sleeper, Metallic Rogue. And he said, simply because it's Studio Bones, which is a very good reason to maybe check it out, but I probably won't because I just don't like Mecha that much.
Okay, yeah, Rouge.
You ready?
Let's do it, bro.
Crystal. Her sleeper. A Sign of Affection. The only thing that concerns me a little bit from the visuals is the art style. Now, with that being said, yep, that's the one. Yeah, fuck. When Crystal picks a sleeper, man. When Crystal picks a sleeper, I gotta fucking.
Yeah.
I don't like shoujo, bro. Okay.
She don't miss though.
She don't miss. She never misses. She hasn't missed once.
An anime sniper at this point.
Oh shit. Rob J. Rob J sleeper. My instant death ability is OP. These are my guilty pleasures. Listen, I do not fucking blame you because they are mine as well. And then I finally found a Bump's original tweet. Says I'm blindly calling this ahead of time, and it's a quote tweet to the Delicious in Dungeon. Let's see here. Make sure I'm not missing anybody. You don't follow us.
That's funny.
I didn't. You know what? I'm sick. I didn't get one from Frozen. I'm disappointed, Frozen.
Frozen will get us on the list.
Hey, Frozen, listen. Now let's know next week what your sleeper pick is, and we'll bring it up.
Is that everybody?
I think that's everybody. I'm just scrolling through the ads, right? The mentions right now.
So as it stands, the people's sleepers, we got Delicious Dungeon, Shonen Bump, and Matt, Metallic Rouge, Huey, Kita, and Dad Needs to Talk, Hokkaido Girls, TCB NYC, The Witch and the Beast, Kita. I guess Kita's also, I put in Metallic Rouge. I didn't mean to do that twice. A Sign of Affection, we got Crystal, and my instant death ability, we got Rob J.
Now, for our sleepers. Here it goes. You want to go first?
Let's do it.
My tell 'em sleeper is drum roll.
The Unwanted Undead Adventures.
Unwanted Undead Adventures. I probably could have picked it for you and said that exact one that you was gonna pick. What do you think I'm gonna pick? Just a little fun game.
What do I think you gonna pick?
Yes, sir.
Hold on. Let me look at this real quick because I saw it and I was like, this is gonna be a polo. I think you're gonna pick Chain Soldiers.
Nope.
What you picking?
Hokkaido Girls are super adorable.
Okay. I mean, hey, you ain't missed yet.
And this is the thing. The thing about this was the one I picked when I said, what was it, 3 weeks ago? I think I already found my sleeper. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was looking at from that entire time.
Let's go, Polo.
So that's the one. I'm not changing. I'm sticking with it. Yeah, and I feel good. Listen, let's just go through. Did you have a list of all the shows we talked about?
Yep.
Go through that list for me. And Rob J, tell me if it's going, you think if we come back, the start of this winter season and be like, yo, all these bang. Let us know if you're going to be able to catch up. How big is the list, though?
You want me to talk about what people are anticipating or what we just thought looks interesting?
What we just thought, everything that we talked about.
All right.
Okay, let me just get this out the way.
I'm going to just go ahead.
You got it all, including solo leveling and stuff, too?
Yep.
Okay, rattle them
off,
brother.
Leveling. Solo Leveling, The Witch and the Beast, Delicious Dungeon, Tis Time for Torture Princess, Blue Exorcist, Banned from the Heroes Party Season 2, Monsters 103, High Card Season 2, Mashal Season 2, Tsukimichi Season 2, Danger of My Heart, Clash from the Elite, Chain Soldiers, The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic, The Foolish Angel Dances with the Devil, Tales of Wedding Rings, My Instant Death Ability, Unwanted Undead Adventure, Hokkaido Girls Are Super Adorable, A Sign of Affection.
How many is that, like, when you count it?
20.
Okay, so even if we remove Banished from a Hero's Party, because I don't think he read that or watched that. Dangers in My Heart, I don't think he watched that. Even if you remove that, even if you remove some of the other seasons too, like bottom tier character, I know he watched it. So let's just remove it for removing sakes. Blue Star Exorcist, let's remove that. You still got about upwards of 15 plus.
Yeah. There. On the low end, if you just remove half the list, you got 10 to 13 that you probably watch.
True. So, I mean,
are almost guaranteed good at this point.
Exactly. So, I mean, while you think you can catch up, while the season may seem dire, that's where I finally figured out what I was going to say. Fucking 15 minutes later. I was going to say, because of his tweets talking about it doesn't seem like it's much this winter. What happened is fall and spring prior was so big, it was so large that is making this winter seem small in comparison, even though next spring is fucking stacked as well. And we're going to talk about that eventually, but this winter is still as stacked as fall and as spring. The problem is fall and spring was just that much more stacked. So this seems smaller in comparison, but if you into watching new stuff, which I know you are, it'll add up. It'll start to stack up.
Let's also be real. We can't sleep on the sleepers that we didn't mention because we don't even know what the actual sleeper is yet. You know what I mean?
And we always find something or come across something that somebody either recommends to us, they tweet at us, they hit us up in our Discord, which you can make sure you join. It'll be on our website, mycheckwaifu.com. But like, there's always something that somebody gives us that we end up watching and end up falling in love with. Like Frieren was one. If y'all remember the live episode for the fall preview was one from Francesca. They kept mentioning it and they were telling us how to say it and we looked it up and like, okay, that seems pretty interesting after we read the synopsis, after they brought it up to us. So listen, this winter still feels like it's going to be stacked. It may not be as stacked as those previous two because I think it is I think fall and spring is the result of the COVID breaks. Like everything that got delayed via COVID came out during those times. So there were so many shows, you know what I mean?
It made the season thick.
Yes. And now that we're kind of back to quote unquote average, it's still pretty thick. So instead of 35 shows, it's 20. All right, let's take this quick break. And when we return, we're spoiling Frieren. We're spoiling Apothecary Diaries. And we're going to have the episode numbers after the break or in the show notes. And we're also spoiling what else? What else was like fire?
I mean, we had Overtake's ending. We also had
let's do Overtake.
Okay. I was gonna say Dr. Stone.
Dr. Stone, okay, we'll Overtake or Dr. Stone. But we'll be right back after these.
trying to make sure my beard ain't wet.
I'm keeping that in. I ain't deleting it. And welcome back to episode 323. Wait, 323?
233.
233. Damn, I gave us a whole 100 episodes. Welcome back to this episode. Fuck. This is spoiler talk. I'm keeping all this in. I don't give a fuck. This is spoiler talk where we discuss spoilers for shows that we're currently watching that we love. So if you haven't watched these shows that we're going to talk about, make sure you come watch them and then come back. What's funny is that what I like about this, is that we have a whole show at the beginning. Nice break for the music. A lot of times that's where it ends for people looking at our metrics. A lot of times they're like, okay, it ends. But then a lot of times, sometimes, like at the end of a season, usually there's people that go back to our older episodes.
Yeah.
So we kind of be double dipping. It wasn't intentional, but it's kind of genius what we did there.
It's you watching a master at work.
Like it's funny because it's like you don't even think about it until I'm like, why did fucking episode 76 get 100 listens? And that was 3 years ago. Like it's so crazy to just be thinking about that. Out of nowhere, yeah. People just be going back and listening to those older episodes to hit the spoiler talk, and it counts as a full play. So thank you. Anyway, right now we're going to be spoiling episode 15. I had it up on the show notes over here on this monitor, but now you're covering that up, so I can't even see it. But episode 15 of Frieren, right?
Yes.
Let's do it, man. Literally one of the best shows ever. I mentioned this to Frozen, actually. I think it was it Frozen? Yeah, I think it had to be Frozen. Because he said, actually, I'm gonna go to exactly what he said. I be just adding shit to the show and don't even be ready. Yeah, Frozen, one of the Patreon producers, Frozen Paradise. He says, Frozen with a PH, by the way, which is fucking dope. But he says, this show is easily in my top 10 favorite anime. Shout out to Mike Check Waifu for the recommendation. Listen, I told him, I even mentioned, like, we're going to go back and it's going to be our live episode where we do a reintroduction, which is going to be reintroduction 5. Reintroduction 5 live.
Oh.
Duh. It just came to me right now. But reintroduction 5 is we're going to redo our top 10s. And it's going to be a very, very, very important episode. Also, Huey TJ hit us up with an idea. He mentioned, I want to mention it now, or do I want to wait until we doing it? Yeah, I want to wait till we doing it. I'm gonna save it. Sorry, Huey. Thanks for the idea.
It's a great idea.
It's a great idea. So we're gonna keep that in the holster. And I'm gonna be real with you. This is gonna be in my top 10. Spoiler alert. Frieren is now it could be complete. It could go to complete shit. Will it? No. It could.
Likely not.
But likely, nah. It's impossible. Shout out to Madhouse Studios. What's funny is Madhouse Studios, they were going through a rough patch and they almost shut down while they even still have Overlord. Like, Overlord is their literal saving grace before Frieren now. But it was their saving grace because they were going through so much turmoil in that studio that literally Frieren saved the studio.
Yeah, and did you see what I sent you about Frieren? I sent it on Instagram. Basically, Frieren became the highest rated anime of all time for a day.
Oh, yeah. I think we talked about that a couple of weeks ago when you sent it to me.
Okay, cool. Because hear me out. It entirely deseres. 100%. And I mean, I'm not going to say it is the best anime of all time, but to become the highest rated anime of all time, I mean, it has given us plenty. And I as a Fullmetal Alchemist lover, I got my tattoo here. As a Fullmetal Alchemist lover, y'all got to stop downvoting anime just because it beat Fullmetal Alchemist, man.
It's so disgusting.
It's a great show, man. Fullmetal Alchemist is a masterpiece to me. Why you mad? Because another show has a masterpiece. Like, bro, there's other masterpieces out there, bro, and it don't take nothing away from your favorite.
I absolutely consider Fullmetal Alchemist a masterpiece too, but I'm gonna keep it real with you. Two things could be true. I like Frieren better. I said it. I like Frieren better, and I absolutely love, for nostalgic purposes, Fullmetal Alchemist is one of the greatest shows of all time, and I will stand by that. I could die on that hill forever. But I just like Frieren better.
Frieren is crazy, bro. It's crazy how good it is. And like, I even feel like when you put anime up to say, is it going to stand the test of time?
Ooh.
Right now,
Yes.
for sure. For sure, it's standing the test of time. I will go back and watch this in 10 years and be like, yo, this was good, bro. Like, this is some phenomenal storytelling.
Oh my God, yes.
If they were to make, and I'm not saying I want this, but I'm saying like if they were to actually make like a live action series off of something, I feel like this would be something with a diverse enough like understanding that would make it great. I'm not saying I want it. I'm just saying this is something with that kind of world that there's so much more to explore that I would be happy to have like a spin-off of something or anything like that.
You know what it does so well is that it captures like, imagine being an elf that lived for over 1,000 years. It captures the scale of that well,
right?
And what I mean by that is the fact that she, again, time, when somebody says 50 years, that's nothing to her. When you lived 1,000, when somebody mentions the fact that she just like time isn't important to her because it's so plentiful, that impact that it has on just people is crazy. And then just to watch her slowly start to understand how important it is so special, because again, this episode, we kind of see, this episode had a lot when you think about it, bro.
A ton.
The first half of it was them fighting a monster that put a curse on this village.
On the village, yep.
Damn, I forgot about that part.
So real quick, I want to expand on what Polo just said about how they capture that scale. I think they do it in an extreme manner, in an extremely like minute manner, right? Because they catch little details about things meaning nothing or being small in time or having a grand scale in time, to very huge details, to like the 80 years it took them to master that magic spell that is now just a regular repertoire spell. And they cover that scale so well. But yet, like Polo said, this episode had a lot in 24 minutes that makes it like, how did you fit all of this in this episode?
Bruh, like it's crazy.
The first 12 minutes of this episode, they walk into a village. You know, they were traveling and they walk into a cursed village.
Bro,
Everyone in the village is knocked out cold. They're
I'm
asleep.
so sorry to interrupt, but how the fuck do they capture 2 whole arcs in one episode so effortlessly? Like it was nothing. Like it's nothing.
12 minutes apiece. That was crazy because they told both stories fully, bro.
It just blew my mind just now as you were talking about it.
That's why it makes no sense that some anime can't do it, bro. It don't make no sense because
my God.
They demonstrated that there was a curse. They even made it make sense as to why have a priest and a mage. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Why have a priest and a mage? Well, because the priests are born with the durability of the goddess, or the blessing of the goddess, which makes them resistant to curses, which also they explain like how the demons have their own source of magic that humans can't understand innately how to do that. So you have to study it. Humans have their own source of magic, but that's something that they still learn innately and they have to study it. The priest, that's another form of magic that is only eligible or likely to be used by the priest. And it's like, they give us these systems, they explain it, it makes sense. And then everyone has an actual tangible, like, role, a reason for their role in this world.
Yeah.
Our new priest,
he's a beast.
A beast, bro. A beast. We go into this town. Stark is the first one to fall asleep. I imagine this is going based off mana. And then after the mana is overall just built-in resistances, right? So Stark is the first one to pass out. He's asleep. We know he's a fighter. He's not using magic, right? No mana built up to necessarily do that. He's the first one to pass out from the curse. Then we have what's her name?
Fern.
Not Frieren. Fern, yes, I know it was an F. Fern, she passes out. I imagine and it makes sense. She's the second highest in magic, other than the priest. You know what I mean? So she passes out. Frieren is saying, "Hey, hey." She tells our new priest, "Wake me when the and she even said this before, and can you wake them up? She said it'll be 5 seconds. But she says, wake me before you fight the beast. I promise you I'll kill it.
Don't fight it alone.
Don't fight it alone. And she tells him that. And I loved how he even had a flashback. How did he even have time to fit a flashback?
Bro, and it was so smooth. It was so fucking smooth. Oh my God. It's so smooth how they put these flashbacks in that is so relevant to the story, because it's just within this character's mind. He's like, wait, and you just think, okay, when you're going through something fast and it's going, the way they just interweave it, like, you can see the character in this thought process, and then you go to the thought. When you go to the thought, you go, for example, we went to the thought of Himo. Yeah, Himo.
Mm-hmm.
The priest. What's his name? Himo was the sword.
Yeah. The priest was Hater.
So if we go to Hater, and he's telling them about literally his party member, Fern, who is resistant to time, basically, or who is basically like numb to the concept of time. And he said, you don't really get time to develop with her because of her lack of sense of time. But for some reason, I always trusted what she said. And they kind of went flawlessly back into what she said. Mm-hmm. And to him recalling what she said right there in a heartbeat. And
as soon as he wakes her up, less than 5 seconds,
you gotta hit and it's already dead.
It's already done, bro. And then they animated this beautiful spell going up to the sky and coming down. You know what made this all that much more impactful to me was that while he was having that flashback, it was as soon as he came out that flashback, you can see it in his face. He had the words, right? Trusted. I had to trust in her words, right?
Yes.
He looked like he was still struggling with that idea. And that's what I loved. Like, he was struggling with the idea of, like, I just got to trust that she's going to do it. And he just did it because he didn't have another choice, right?
Yeah, because he realized himself, which is rightly so. He was not wrong for realizing this, that 5 seconds isn't enough to get a grasp of a situation. But so I'm going to try to wake her up as quickly as I possibly can while getting out these words, which he was incredible for doing, by the way. The fact that he was able to say as much as he was within that 5 seconds, or as quickly as he was trying to, was special, which means that he is attentive. He's smart. He's powerful because he's able to kind of like circumvent like being overwhelmed by his thoughts. He's a natural born adventurer, which is so fucking special to see.
Crazy. And it just also shines light on how special Frieren is, because we know she's special.
The GOAT. She's
but she didn't. It makes me believe that she already kind of understood what was happening. Like, she knew what she had to do before they even got there. She was just following along.
Yep. And she wasn't going to break that promise.
Her actions are all developmental and facts. She wasn't going to break the promise. And like you said, they didn't need an actual trust amongst themselves, other than the fact that she gave you a word and she's going to do it. That was crazy, bro. First 12 minutes. Next 12 minutes.
Which is, as they're walking and exploring, they come across somebody who came from the same village as Stark, who let us know that his son basically perished in a war against demons.
2 months ago, which luckily enough, his son and the demon died at the same time, which is it was so dope to hear, because it's like, not only, it's dope for me to hear this, it may sound crazy, what I'm about to say, but it's dope to see that they killed each other, because now it's not relying on the same trope. It's a whole nother thing. Right? Because what they could have did, and what most anime would do if you didn't have such a great writer, is they would use the same trope. You know, his son died in the war. Now they're in a town helping this town, and we can see some more OP-ness from Frieren. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they could have used that same concept, but they decided to go a different route. Yeah, they both killed each other. But here's the thing. This political thing going on. Everybody thinks my son is alive, so I want to save face. And the way I'm going to do that is by using a double, basically, which Starks just happens to be like his son, a doppelganger, if you will. Because when they showed his son, I'm like, oh shit,
I get it because they look exactly alike. Albeit because they came from the same village and them damn genes are strong, I guess. But them kind of like not wanting to do it, and then being convinced to do it because they needed money, obviously, because that is something that is counted within the show, which is fucking spectacular as well to even think about. But it starts basically a quest. It starts a side quest, if you will, of them staying at this place for 3 months it was?
Yep.
Staying at this place for 3 months so Stark can learn to be a proper etiqueted gentleman. I made that up. I don't know if it's a word, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
To be a gentleman, and he's going through this training session, which was it was a nice, relaxing, comedic thing that still felt so impactful for not only, Stark, but maybe a developing romance between Fern and Stark, and just even Stark coming to grasp with the fact that, like, listen, and helping this guy out, this random fucking side NPC, saying like, hey, help him. Yeah, I can't replace your son. I'm not going to come back. I'm not going to stay. Like, all of that shit, it just goes to show the maturity of these characters. The way they develop is so good. And it all happened within 12 minutes. We got one of the most beautifully animated scenes of all time with them referencing mocap for this dancing scene. It's just a dancing scene. And it was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. One of the most beautiful scenes ever.
What makes that all of that so impactful, and I think why they can fit all of that in 12 minutes is because everything that happened in like this second 12 minutes was like already set up. The romance was already set up. The relationship with Stark and his family and his father and his tribe or village, whatever he came from, that was already set up. And then we get here and it was like the ground was already laid. You know what I mean, bro? They already laid the groundwork for this episode. It's crazy to go into this and then just get more, and it was just so much to enjoy. And like you said, that dance scene, that felt unreal. That felt unreal, bro.
We talked about it when we watched the Arcane show. It felt uncanny. Like it was so uncanny, but it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. And then I wanted to mention that I finally heard Fern dub voice. Very, very good. Very, very good. They did a good job with the dub so far. So I'm proud of them.
Rewatching dub, huh? Yeah,
I'm proud of them for that, because when this is complete, rewatching the dub is going to be just easy. It's going to be just so fucking easy to do. All right, let's move on, because we could talk about this for another hour if we wanted to. Because we got another episode that was spectacular, and that's Apothecary Diaries.
I swear.
It's episode 11 of Apothecary Diaries. I mean, it picks up right where we left off, continuing from what happened or what's going on with this lady in waiting, and why she's so suspicious, if you will. The way she fucking broke it down. For one, the way she enters, because she wasn't going to get let in. And then she's like, okay, well, I was sitting here by her main concubine or whatever.
Right.
When she gets in, the other lady's like, oh, okay, well, what is this about? She opens it and it's the fucking flour and honey. And she's like, oh shit. She knows something. Let me sit this down. She got that big ass knife, chopping up this brilliant looking food for one. But they begin the conversation of what actually went on in the prior episode that led to not only her father being expelled, but the son, the concubine's son dying, quote unquote dying, because technically that was not her son that died, is what they're implying, without implying, but you can kind of say, yeah. It's so much, bro. It's
the detective work done in this show and how it's explained, bro.
She went full Batman.
She did, bro. She did Bruce Wayne better. I don't know how, straight up, but she killed it. She went from, well, this is initially how someone would have done it, right? Yeah. They would have taken this flower. They would have poisoned them, because so many flowers have poison. She explains it all, but that's not what you did. Even though, like, you tried to make that an obvious, like, detour, right? You tried to make that as an obvious detour. That's not what you did. And she continues down this path and breaks it down, and even gets to the point to where, what's up? What you about to say, bro?
I was just about to say, it's so hard for us to talk about it because the way she broke it down. Yeah, we can't do it justice. We can't explain everything she said because it was so much detail. It was so in depth. And
right.
And Tell always does a good job of breaking this shit down like that, but you like literally can't. You can't, bro. It's so hard because it was so much. But the way it was laid out, I mean, y'all watched it. That's what we're talking about in the spoilers. But
right. And the cover up part, right? Even talking about the cover up, why we had to cover it up this way, just to keep a life the same, and so many other like factors. I know we gush about Frieren and Apothecary Diary so much, but bro, this is like it's crazy to sit here and really like digest this show. And I'm so happy I watched it like earlier today, right? Because I get to digest it right here and really, it's like let these details sink in. As a father, like I said earlier, I learned, because like you give kids, like sometimes like doctors like, oh yeah, you can start giving your kids some Cheerios if you want to. Just make sure they don't have any honey, no Honey Nut Cheerios. Why no Honey Nut Cheerios? I find out, well, honey, being great for adults because it builds our immune system, does the exact opposite for children. Yeah, it makes them exposed. It is dangerous for them. It will literally poison them, and they will die from any next thing that happens. And it's like the way that this is broken down, this is another masterpiece going on right in front of our face, bro. It's so crazy to watch these shows go on like this, bro. Again,
I talked about it earlier in the show, but the way the animation changed when it was on her face, when she realized she was caught, the despair that they showed, it was so shadows. Yeah, the shadow, it was so pretty, in a sort of creepy sort of way, but you get what I'm saying. It was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous. Once she broke it all down, she had it all figured out. She even mentioned the fact that like you're planning on leaving, and then she broke down. And when she broke down, I felt so bad because I knew exactly what was coming out next. She either was going to attempt to kill Momo, which she definitely couldn't, because she would. Not only did Momo prepare for something to happen to her, which was genius, right? But it would be the same outcome. Like you try to kill Momo, you're getting fucking executed. Like you can't kill another concubine's lady in waiting or whatever. So like you're gonna get smoked. But instead of doing that, Momo talks her off a wall basically, and just tell her like, listen, you could do this without telling her the truth about what you did to her baby. And we're talking about the concubine's baby because essentially what we're saying is she accidentally killed her by giving her honey too soon. Or killed. The thing I'm thinking is that these babies were swapped. Okay. This is going in the gut check round, but these babies were swapped. And what's the guy name? What's his name? Genshi. Genshi is actually the son, is what they imply this episode. Am I crazy for thinking that?
No, I don't think you're crazy for that. I'm just, because they did line up like his age and the baby's.
Yeah. So, and then like they showed that at the end. She walked in, she was drinking with him, got him drunk, and he came out when he found Momo climbing down from the wall, and he started crying because he's fucking sad that his mom, that he can't really. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I'm assuming. I could be totally wrong. But even Momo came to this conclusion, and she's like, I'm probably just I'm probably just speaking of some crazy delusion. But everything adds up. So not only did the concubine say when my son left me instead of when my son died, right? Momo put that together, which is something I didn't even put, like I'd normally pay close attention to that type of stuff. I didn't put that shit together. When she said left me, I'm thinking like, died, right?
Yeah.
Momo was like, no, that implies that he's not dead, maybe. And I don't know, man.
It definitely could have been like one of those things where it was done to protect.
Interesting.
Because like you think about it, there's normally not just one concubine or wife or whatever. They're having multiple. So how do you protect yours from another? Sometimes a cover up is the way to do it. And the accidental death, so to speak, because let's say, for instance, She didn't know that she was supposed to give the baby honey. Who knows to say that, like, it could have been a seed planted. Yeah, give the baby honey or whatever. I'm not saying we don't know. That's a stretch. But I'm saying that, like, that could have been a protection of her child. And the sad thing is like, does she even really know at this point that that was her child? Or because you hope that if that was a protection that she would know. But it's like, there's so many avenues that could go. And I know they're going to do another great job of explaining everything to us.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's so good. Like, the cast of characters, the way each episode is paced, it's like, it wasn't much, but it was so much. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's because they take their time in spots that they need to take their time on. And the stuff that don't matter, they still show us stuff and then keep it moving. So like, even if you see something in passing, it's the details, and you can still get, they give it to you in the way that makes it like, even if it's quick, you understand it. And then the points where they take their time, like with that conversation where they gave us that impact of her face and whatnot, and explaining the dad and everything, they take their time in those spots to make it relevant and stick.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you feel about the execution of her?
Has to. I mean, I think that realistically it has to be done. I mean, it makes sense because it's like, I mean, you're still the overseer of this baby, so to speak. It could have been something less than, and it would have been beheaded regardless. You know what I mean? Yeah,
and that's what essentially happened, because my mom was like, "Hey, just combine the stories. Just tell, this is what happened." And like, I attempted to poison the other concubine, and let that be the reason you get, beheaded, not the fact that you killed her daughter, or her son. So that you can preserve at least that sense, which was, Momo was a genius for that. But it also, at first, I was kind of sad about it.
Torn, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh man, she should be able to leave, until they mentioned towards the end that she pushed the other lady in waiting to commit suicide. When she pushed her to do that, when they said that she pushed her to do that, I'm like, okay, yeah, you gotta go. And apparently she's killed a few people to keep the secret. So, or not killed, but bullied the other one to keep the secret. So like, yeah, that sucks. It came around. I know you just said you don't believe in it. Karma's real. And anime too.
It'd be like that, huh?
Mm-hmm. All right, what we said was gonna spoil last? I don't remember. You know what? Instead of spoiling, I just want to tell you that I'm at Polo Bornfly on all social media.
I'm at King Teliano on all social media.
You can follow our social medias at Mike Check Waifu on Twitter or X or whatever. At Mike Check Waifu on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And as always, Mike Check. This episode long as hell. So
I know, right? We out.
We out. Peace.
You're now tuned into Mike Check Waifu.